Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome to what's going to be a very unique episode of Post Finem. As you can tell, I'm recording my whole desktop today because this is going to be a bit of a behind the scenes episode. I've been working today to get some of the updates done to the modpack so that I can get the final alpha released, and we can move it on into beta soon. So once this version comes out, this will be the last beta or the last alpha. And then after that, if everything goes good and I don't have to make too many changes, I imagine it'll just be a few minor tweaks and we'll move into beta with the next version. But I'm here in my dev environment, basically. Let me get rid of this out of there. I don't usually have that up on my screen when I'm doing this. But I do keep my game windowed kind of like this, kind of wide, because one of the things I do is when I open this book, I like to be able to see this over here, because I'm in quest editing mode. And I like to be able to see my log, because sometimes information pops up there. In fact, I usually like it to be... Actually, no, it's the right size. Sometimes stuff pops up there and I need to be able to see what come up there so that I can be working over here in Notepad++. Was what I use to edit my text files and stuff and configurations and scripts. So let's talk about what I've been changing. So I've got the changelog open right here for what I've been working with on 0.2.4. Tweaked some of the gun configs. I've increased the empowered Darksteel pick bonus versus Obsidian again, so it's up pretty high now, I think. In fact, do I have that one open? I don't. So I also usually keep... There's the other thing I usually keep open, is the directory. It usually slips behind everything else as I'm working, but then I can get to it. So I'm actually looking at the structure stuff. We'll get to that here in a minute, but I hope this records well and all. I've never tried recording my desktop before. I'm using OBS, which is not my normal recording software. You've seen it at the beginning there. It was in the corner. And then I need to go back up here. I'm about to show you. Oh yeah, the config for Ender.io then pops up in my notepad. I keep all these files open. So somewhere down here, way down here, Darksteel stuff. Gotta find it. That's how much power it takes. Somewhere down here, there's an actual. Nope. I don't remember exactly where it was. I can search it. I'm gonna search for it here in a second, but I don't spot it. Farm settings, no. What's all that? Items that can be hosed in the farming station. I didn't realize I could do that. So I can modify what qualifies as a hoe in the farming station. I didn't even realize that one. There's a lot of things you can do with Ender.io as far as configurations. And if you look back here, you can see that I can change sag mill recipes, I can add recipes, I can give VAT recipes. I might do some more of this stuff later. If I find that we need a recipe for something and it's not in there. I don't think, but for the most part, it's pretty good out of the box. It automatically supports thermal expansion recipes and stuff, so I didn't really have to do anything with that. Where is that? Somewhere down here. Loop config, Killer Joe settings, no magnet settings, new mob extractor, no personal settings. I don't think that's it. Power settings. Where is it at? Can't remember. We're gonna have to do a search here in a second if I don't spot it. There's a lot of settings. There's a lot of settings for Ender.io. And like I said, there's all those extra ones. So let's search for that. Pickaxe. Is this the one? Yeah, there it is. It brought me right to the right line. Perfect. So as you can see, I've increased. I think the default efficiency is. It was originally, before I initially edited it, I think it was 50, which is pretty good. I mean, it's a big increase in speed. And then I had it set to 100, and I realized that the atomic disassembler was still faster than the dark steel pick, and I really didn't want that, so I went ahead and increased the dark steel pick efficiencies versus obsidian to 150. So it should be able to break obsidian pretty much like it's cobblestone. Okay. Other changes that I've been working with: I fixed the gravity on some of the lights and lamps that I discovered. I discovered that they were falling while I was building that over there. I'm going to show you that a little bit detailed later, because if you are another YouTuber and you're checking this out, I don't want to spoil everything for you. I'll let you know at the point where I'm going to really do the spoilers. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the updates first, and then we'll get into the actual nitty-gritty of them. And you'll basically see a little bit of the process of me working on some quests and some things like that. And it's kind of a test run for when I want to go to do my How to Build a Modpack series. Just a little bit. I basically want to test the recording process, see how that goes, see how it looks. Hopefully you guys can read this. I don't know about the size of the text. It's probably going to be kind of small. So I don't know what I would do for that. I might have to increase the size and font over here. So, like I said, test run. You guys let me know what I need to do to make it work better in the future, for if I do go to do this again. So I fixed gravity on some of the lamps and lights. I noticed that they were falling down when they shouldn't. They should be able to stick to the ceiling, and I changed a couple of those things. In the, where is that at? So we go back to here. If we go into Environmind has some global settings that you can change, but the majority of the settings that I'm working with at this point, because the global settings are fine the way they are, but under Profiles and under Custom Properties, there is a property file for pretty much every mod in the pack that contains a list of the items and the what's going on over here? Oh, it's getting dark. It's raining. Let's set time 0. There we go. Clear. Weather? Weather clear. Whatever. I'm not actually paying attention to that window anyway. So, wait a second. We're talking about this window over here. We're talking about all the configuration files that go along with Environmind, and yeah, there is a lot, and you can go in and mess with each individual block. You can set stuff. In fact, let's look at some of that. Let's look at the one that I just changed. I just changed one of the chisel files, and that was to lava. I guess it helps when I spell lava right. Lava stone. So I added temperature to lava stone, so now it has an ambient temperature of 40 degrees. It has an effective temperature cap of 45, and I think that's if you're holding the item. Yeah, and then down here we got enabled temperature 40. This might, I can't remember right now off the top of my head if there's two entries for it. One's the entry for the tile in the world, and the other is the entry for the item in your inventory when you have it picked up. So I wanted to make sure that it was both hot when you had it placed in the world, and if you leave it on your hotbar, it'll affect your heat level as well. So somebody suggested that. I thought that was a good idea. So if you make lava stone, you can heat up your base and live in a cold area, even relatively easy, by using a bit of lava stone around your base. Well, that's cool. What other changes have I made in this update? First tier capacitors. The little tiny capacitors now stack in stacks of 64. I added the ability to give the AB9 a scope. So now you can put a scope on your AB9, your rifle, your laser rifle. I did that by tweaking the flans. Not that. Not this. That's what. This is the file that I use to change the flans recipes and give the guns their recipes. Now, and this is also why it crashes if you don't reload the gun before you put it in the modification table, is because these recipes don't include a great big string of NBT data. And I probably could add that NBT data, but maybe I'll get to that in the next update. Figure it out. But I want to do more. I want to do more with tweaking flans mods, and basically either that or it just might go away, because there are mods out there now that I could use for laser rifles that are almost as good as this. I don't think they look quite as good. Like, the models on these are really good. The majority of there's a lot of extra stuff that I have in the pack, in the flans pack. So flans is a mod by itself that doesn't really do anything unless you include a package of extra stuff with it. And it has a whole bunch of different packages. Excuse me, got the hiccups. It has a whole bunch of different extra packages that you can add to it. And the one that I chose is futuristic weapons and stuff. And some of them have really good models, but then some of them don't. It's definitely a mixture of stuff that different people have worked on over different periods of time. And there's issues with the weapon, or there's issues with the mechs and tanks and vehicles in general. They tend to cause crashes and stuff, especially, and even the crafting table that you make those things with cause some crashes. So I would like to maybe move away from flans entirely, or strip out everything except for those 4 guns and use only those 4 guns, and then add some more customization to it, to those guns, so that each gun would have its own rifle tip, or have its own barrel augmentations, possibly even more than 1 barrel augmentation for each rifle and gun and stuff. Same with the scopes. It would have like a 2x and a 1 and a 3x scope for each of the guns. What else would I like to do? I think the other 2 things, the grip and the stock add-on things, would there'd only be like 1, or possibly a generic one that worked for all of them. But the rifle, the barrel augmentation and the scope augmentation, I'd like to expand on, and I like to make sure that every one of the guns is completely customizable, and possibly customizable for color, because some of them can be colored. And yeah, we'll maybe get into that in the future. So let's go back to. I wasn't going to show you that. I don't want to go too deep into some of this stuff. Yeah, so I changed the 1 scope that is in there right now to a 3x zoom. So now whenever you use that scope on any of the rifles, pistols, or whatever can take the scope, it'll be 3x, including the pistol. So that may not be good. Like I said, I want to change that around a lot in the future. I added a Mrs. Silo dungeon. Okay, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This is at the point where we're going to start talking about things that if you are another YouTuber and you don't want to know what's coming, look away. So yeah, spoiler alert. The Missile Silo dungeon. Here's a little preview of the outside of what it looks like. Now this was actually a bad spawn because it actually spawned water right underneath a really vital part of it, which I suppose is going to happen from time to time, which is one of the things I was testing. Well, this is not 100% my design. This is from Breen. I think that's how you say it, Breen. He's got a hold of me on the FTB forums, and he sent me some files that contain this building. Majority of this building. Now, unfortunately, his original build was a lot nicer because it had microblocks. Now, unfortunately, the recurrent complex is not compatible with microblocks, so I had to, we just had to do without the microblock parts. And I changed a few things around and added a bit of carpenter wedges, since those are compatible with recurrent complex. And we can just go ahead and break through here and kind of show you the missile. Yeah, he had a few micro blocks at the tip here. I had to swap those out for the carpenter wedges. I think it still looks pretty good. And I'm not gonna show you the rest. You have to find it in the world and explore it, see the rest of that. But there's a little preview of that. That's going to be added in this update. And the other thing I got to get done is this is what I was working on right before I started recording. This is an update to the gas nest. The gas nest, and we're going to go through finishing this up here in a second. The gas nest is really not as dangerous as it should be, and I realized why. It was because the clouds above the spawner were actually blocking the spawns of the gas. So if you have gas nests in your current world, they're not going to be that dangerous. But if you go exploring out into new territory from in an old world, and you find these new guys should be quite dangerous. And I altered the loot drop a little bit, because the loot on these guys was way too good for as easy as it was to defeat it. So if you got a couple of the old ones, congratulations. You get a couple. You get some OP loot for not very much danger. So, oh well, not a big deal. When you find one of these new ones, loot's not bad, but the danger level is appropriate for it. I think much more dangerous. I'm about to make it more dangerous, because what I need to do is I want to edit that spawner. Unfortunately, there's not a really good way to do it from in the game. I can't do it from in the game. So first thing I got to do is I got to save this using recurrent complex. Recurrent complex has a bunch of slash commands. Actually, if I do that and press tab, you should be able to see like all the different the commands from recurrent complex. What I want to do is I want to export this. Export. And this is going to bring up this interface. I want to name it. I want to give it the same name as the original, and that way it overwrites it. And it is Gast. Get that out of my way. Gast egg. And let me double check to make sure I'm spelling it the same. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go into the directory where. Come on, get back up there. Into the structures directory in the active directory here and double check that. GHAST egg. Capital E and a capital G. It has to be exactly the same. So I want to save it in the active folder. It can be rotated. It can be mirrored. It's not going to hurt the structure at all. I'm not using any carpenter blocks or anything in this. If I was using carpenter blocks, I would not be able to mirror it, but I still would be able to rotate it, just not mirror it. Now I need to go into the generation, and again, I'm just going to breeze right past this stuff, and if you're interested in seeing more about recurrent complex, you're just going to have to wait, because eventually I'm going to do some in-depth tutorials on some of the stuff. There's a few out there right now. There's a pretty decent one. I forget. It's been a long time since I watched it, so I don't remember who the guy was that did it. But so I want this to spawn anywhere from -3 to -1 below the surface, wherever it decides to generate. And I want it to be frequent. I want these to be all over the place, quite often. That's all I got to change in here. Go back up. That's a natural spawn. I can add additional spawns, and I'll show you maybe some of those here in a second. In fact, yes, I will show you one more of those here in a second. That's all I really got to do. And I'm going to save it. And that's going to save me that file there. So what that means that -1 to -1, which basically means if this bottom layer right here, this bottom layer is either going to start. So if it decides that this is the block that it's spawning at, then this layer of it right here can be no higher. It can't start. It has to start on this layer right here. but it could be deeper. It could actually be as low as that layer, and then it would, build from there. The blue dots basically just mean that whatever is there, it's not going to replace it. It's going to leave it. Whatever terrain is there, it's going to leave it. If there's air in here, if there's air in the, this is air on top of above the cloud here. If there's air in there, it's going to actually put the air in. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing with this one. And then you can see that I've reshaped a cloud and made it much thinner in the middle so that there's actually room above it for it to spawn. It was like much thicker. It actually almost came up to the top of the blue area. The blue area is what I'm saving, and I used this wand thing here, part of Recurrent Complex, to save that. So that's enough about that. Like I said, I'm going to get in deep. And I'm not going to get too deep into how Recurrent Complex works and all that just yet. So what I need to do now is I want to edit that spawner. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to rename this. Here you. I'll rename it Zip. And then now I'll be able to open it and get to these files right here. And I need some place to save these temporarily. Actually, what we do is we'll just extract all files. Extract. Okay, cool. Now we got it. Now I'm going to start up a program called NBT Explorer. This is a I don't use it too often, but when you need it, you need it. It's a good program. It's real simple. Then I'm going to open the files that I just oh good. I already did this once. I had to redo it again because I realized after I saved it and everything that some blocks were missing, and I had to go back and put them back in. And that's what I did. I just put those back in and saved it. Changed a few of the blocks too. Okay, so I want to change this world data file. And one of these, actually it's tile entities. It's going to be this one with 12 entities. I just know that because it has the most entities. And if we look down here, ID, mob spawner, ghast. Okay, perfect. So spawn count's good, but I want to change the spawn range. That way it doesn't have to spawn like really close to the spawner. It can actually spawn up in the air a little bit and have enough room to actually spawn a ghast, because they require a good amount of open space. So if I give it a spawn range of 12, it can spawn anywhere within 12 blocks of that spawner. And I don't really want to change any of the other things here. Actually, I do want to change. Not that. No, actually, I think I want to leave the rest alone for now. The most mobs that it can have in the area is 6, so it could spawn as much as 6 ghast if you don't deal with them fast. They could be there. And it's going to spawn as soon as the player gets within 16 blocks of the spawner now. Perfect. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much the only setting I really want to do, because this is what really matters. This is what's going to make sure that it is able to spawn the ghast within somewhere in the area. So all I got to do is save that now. Saves my NBT data file. And then package it back up. We'll send those to a zip. We will, then we'll rename that ghast egg. Okay. And then we're going to back up a second over here and go ahead and delete our original file since we just rewrote it. And now we need to move this over here. And then go ahead and change it, the file name back, or file extension back, rc st. And now I've edited that spawner within that structure. So now, whenever I find a new one of these, now we can test this by going and generating some world. Let me see here. Which direction can I go to generate some world? I think just south. Yeah. South, anywhere south. We need to go until we find a spawner so we can verify that our tweaks have changed. Has changed. Come on. Where's it at? Give me one. Show me one. I don't see one. They're supposed to be frequent. Get into some new terrain here in a second, maybe. Still, there's a lot of lag with train gen. You can see I've run up against some train gen lag right here. It's not generating. Or it is generating, it's just taking a very long time because it has to calculate all those dungeons. Remember all the things, all the villages are actually dungeons, and they're generated randomly using a maze algorithm type thing. So in a few seconds, well, in a few minutes maybe, that'll generate, and then I'll be able to go find some new stuff, hopefully. Hopefully. What is that over there? Oh, that's my, that's me saving my thing. Go over this way. Now, probably over there. Now, it could be generating like a grave. Yeah. Oh, actually, if we look up here, that's what. You see this? Generating catacombs. Generating Wither Hall. That's why it's lagging. When you run into a catacombs, it takes a very long time to generate because they are really, really huge. And that is the graveyards mod. And those do spawn. I don't know if I'll be able to see it after it's done. So it is good for me to keep that log open because I can see what's actually happening while I'm trying to while I'm working with it. So there it goes. So finished generating the catacombs, must have. And now there's our new there's one of our new things right there. You can see it kind of got split. Oh no, there it goes. Now it's not gonna. I'm in creative, so it's not gonna. Probably not going to spawn. Yeah, it's not gonna spawn. But I did want to see that it. You can see it's kind of buried in the ground a little bit. That's perfect. Just at the right height. Now I could test this. Let's actually time set 0. Get it daytime. And we're going to do a COFH kill. Come on. Can't type. Kill all. My microphone's right in my way of my keyboard, so it's hard for me to see. I'm going to approach it like I was a regular player, so I don't know how many lives I have. Let's see if we can't get some hearts real quick. Get a couple extra lives before I go approaching that. I don't want to have to, I mean, it is a test world, but I don't want to have to restart it. Game mode 0. Alright, let's go approach it like we're an unsuspecting player. And see if it does what it's supposed to do. If I get near it... Oh, it didn't spawn nothing yet. Should have done spawn. How can I get to it before it actually spawns? It ain't spawned nothing. That's not good. Should have spawned a ghast. Didn't spawn any ghasts. I don't know. Well, maybe one of you guys can make a suggestion on what setting I need to change in order to get this thing to like really kick out some gas. Because I want to make sure that whenever you approach one of these things, at least one gas spawns before you ever even get all that close to it. Before you can break a cloud, I want to see a gas spawn. And it's not doing nothing. I'm guessing that maybe it's because it's daytime? Is that what it is? How about we try set time to 1600? Is that right? Nighttime. Now if I approach it, does it spawn gas? No. I don't know. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, guys. I don't get it. I know that it wasn't spawning before or after when I tried to change the file. So, all right, well, back to the drawing board on that because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And there's that phone. I have had to edit so many videos because of that dang phone. And I'm just going to leave it in this time because this isn't really like a regular video, so. Yeah, a little behind the scenes here. Alright, well, that's a fail. Alright, well, let's go on to some of the other changes that I made. And I guess I'm going to have to work on that some more before I get this update. Because I really want that to be a dangerous thing to approach. It's not dangerous yet. Like, it should spawn a gas, like, the moment you get near it. Maybe I gotta make the spawn area even bigger. I don't know. Or it's trying to spawn. Maybe I need to make it more frequent. Yeah, that's probably what I need to do. Let me try that. Let's get back in game mode. Sorry, guys. Game mode 1. Faked you out, lightning creeper. And we will. I don't know. I kind of wanted to show you that other dungeon too, because that's not mine. That's just Graveyards. Puts these really cool dungeons in that are very worth finding. If you do find one, very worth exploring. They're very dangerous, but those will definitely. Well, this one probably not going to spawn either. No, of course I'm in creative, so technically I don't trigger them when I'm in creative. I'm pretty sure there's got to be a way for me to here. Let me try something real quick. Go back to my NBT editor. NBT Explorer. It should still be yeah. So if I go, let's see here. Delay. I don't know what the delay is. Delay 0, so that should be good. Maximum spawn delay. I'm gonna put that at 200. That's like 5 seconds. I think. What's that? 20. Yeah. No, it's 10 seconds. That's way too long. Put that down to. Let's put that down to 20. That's a minimum amount of time. And we want the maximum amount of time be 80. So it's like 4 seconds. I want to put them wisps out fast. Maximum nearby entities. I'm gonna pump that up to 8. That way, if there is other mobs nearby, we'll go ahead and put them out anyway. Shouldn't be more than 8 mobs around. And we're gonna pump this spawn range up to 16 again. So hopefully, that's gonna be good. All these other tile entities, that's the chest. Yeah, we don't want to. I don't want to spoil that about for you. And then I got all these Railcraft hidden entity things that pop up throughout this, just because I have Railcraft and I can't really do too much about it. There we go. We'll save that. Go back and do the same thing over again. We'll send these to press zip, rename it. So as you can see, it's pretty tedious editing one of these. And then we will copy. Paste it here. Delete the old one. CST. There we go. And then now all I gotta do to test it is get into another area of unexplored area. Which I can do by going the way I'm facing pretty much. East. Then you east until I run into some freshly generated terrain. A lot of times when I'm actually just like searching and exploring like this, I'll go into full windowed mode. Makes it a little easier. When I'm editing the actual files, now I don't know if that was a freshly generated one or not, but we'll swing by it. Because I didn't change the structure of it at all, so it's going to be hard for me to tell which ones are new and which ones aren't. So we'll go game mode 0 again, and we'll get near this. Now looks like we're actually having a little lag here. I don't know. Oh yeah, there's a mine being generated. There's a lot of really big mines and structures and dungeons that you don't necessarily realize are being generated a lot of times. I'm going to go with this one's probably not a fresh one. But that one is, because I know it just now generated. So let's go approach this one. Is it doing anything? Come on. Yeah. Could it be that there's just too many entities in the world? Could that possibly be what it is? It's either that or it's my... Where's it at here? I don't want to change this because I get a lot of people complaining that the gas were too hard. There's a file under configs. It's my custom. There's that. Biome tweaker. This is my biome tweaker file. That's maybe telling it that it can't spawn gas in certain biomes. Yeah, because I have it remove all spawns, remove all creatures from all biomes, and then I add back a few, basically. Or no. Ghast should definitely spawn. Well, they spawn in particular. They spawn in swamps. Maybe you're actually in swamp biome. There's a couple biome IDs that this is an alias. It's an alias for biome ID 6, 14, 15. 14 to 15 I think are Mushroom Island, and 6 is actual Minecraft swamp. So maybe it's the fact that these aren't in swamps? I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna let this go for now. If anybody knows, if anybody has an idea as what I can do to get that to work, let me know. Let's go back to our changelog here real quick. Am I still in... I'm not in creative. Let me get back in creative so I don't get whacked while I'm looking at over here. Increase modified... Oh yeah. I unified the sawdust and wood pulp. This has been a big topic lately on the forums. Unified the wood pulp and sawdust, so they should be able to be used in all recipes now. So I can test that one real quick. Let's get some sawdust. So I've got there's sawdust from thermal expansion. There's sawdust from extra trees. There's sawdust from mechanism. Now mechanism is the one that did absolutely work before. And there's also wood pulp. Wood pulp, there it is. Now, if everything has gone according to plan... Oh, I guess I need an actual crafting table because I don't have a crafty grid when I'm in creative mode here. Craft table. I want to keep that, keep my book. So now, if I use mechanism sawdust, we're good. Now this is the one that's important. Oh, look at that! I can make a cardboard box with thermal expansion sawdust now. Yes. And extra tree sawdust? Yes. And wood pulp? Yes. Okay, So that's going to solve some issues for you guys. I know a lot of people had an issue with that, and I should have fixed that a long time ago. It just never really came to my attention until recently. Change the reward for the repeatable quests that get to give hives and not queens. So apparently somebody got far enough along in the quests that they were doing the bees, and I'm bad because I've not actually got this far myself in any of my playthroughs. But I added these quests, and then I didn't get a chance to actually play through to them yet. And so these ones down here are repeatable right here. So what I did instead is now when you supply it with a Rocky Princess, Rocky Drone, and some mutagen, you'll get a hive. You can pick a hive. Marshy, tropical, meadows, forest. And that's good because you can actually, you might actually get, occasionally you might, by luck, get some additional stuff out of that. Especially like honeycombs. Depending on, I think you might even be able to enchant. Might be able to enchant a net, or whatever they're called. What do they call them? I don't know. I should have had it at some point make that thing. That's okay. Because I would probably skip it anyway. I wouldn't want to necessarily have to make the regular net. Because you can make a really good one from Gendustry if you wait till you get to the point where you can actually do that. So again, these ones switched to a hive for the modest and switched to the wintry hive. There's also another. Okay, and I forgot to. I think I forgot to mention this at any time, but if we look at the different hives that are available, you obviously can get Rocky bees all throughout the land because you get that message all the time. Everybody gets that message. You've been stung by bugs or whatever. That's Rocky. That's when you get close to a Rocky hive. And when you get really close to the Rocky hive, the bees start swarming you and you get some nasty effects. You can find water hives throughout the world. There's no nasty effects by getting near them, but they're relatively easy to find. So the whole point of the effects was to make the Rocky hives easy to find. It just is hilarious to watch people react to that. Now that there's people actually making some videos on my modpack, some smaller YouTubers are starting to put out Let's Plays of this, and I'm having a lot of fun watching them. I gotta admit. And there's also a nether hive. You can find the nether hive in the world. They spawn very rarely with the netherrack close to the bottom of the world. So there's some insight for you guys if you're looking to get into bees. In the meantime, till I get this patch ready to go, and there's still quite a bit more to do. So maybe. I'll put maybe there because I haven't really got that to work yet. The gassed egg point of interest is not more dangerous yet. Yeah, change that. Okay, yeah, they were good. And added heat to the chisel. I already talked about that one like a bit ago. So that's the main things right there. So let's do a quest. Let's put together a quest, and you can see that process, and then we're gonna wrap this up, I think, because I've been droning on about this and showing you guys things that you probably hopefully some of it's understandable. There's a lot that goes into basically what it is. There's a lot that goes into this stuff, and if we look at the chemical stuff here, that's some of the else I want to do. Or maybe I'll do one of those too, because there's some things that's supposed to be that should be able to be broke down. Yeah, actually do one of these real quick. So in order to add recipes to the chemical decomposer and all that stuff, I use MindTweaker, which has these scripts. It runs these scripts whenever you start up your game, and it changes all the recipes and stuff. There's some tutorials out there on that, and again, when I do get around to making how to make a mod pack, I'll go into an in-depth tutorial. We're going to do just one real quick. One of those things is charcoal dust. Charcoal dust. Is it pulverized charcoal? Which one is this? Recipe. I can't remember which one it is. It's one of these that you get. Okay, I don't think it's a Railcraft one. I want to open a recipe for that. See what that now. See, you can't use that for anything. Or wait, I want to open the usages. It's not really useful for anything, is it? Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the recipe. I was looking at recipes. Uses of it, it's for photo grow and gunpowder and rich photo grow. So, and you can also make steel with it. So I don't want to remove it. But I do want to give it a chemical breakdown. So when you throw this stuff back in the chemical decomposer, I'm not going to worry about making a synthesizer recipe for it. But I do want to be able to decompose it. So, decomposer, add recipe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get, which one is it that I actually get from the Sagno? Is this the one I get from Sagno? Pulverizer, Sagno, yes, that's the one I get. I don't really care about this, because if you make a rock crusher and you pulverize your charcoal dust, usages. Now we can do something real quick. We go mine twigger, and it'll give us the exact information. So it says it's a thermal foundation material, colon 3. And it is in ore, dust, charcoal. So let me check something here. Is this in ore, dust, charcoal as well? Ore, dust, charcoal. It is. Perfect. Now, since I'm going to use an ore dictionary, I want to put it up here. So I want to give it an alias. So we'll go value charcoal. Hopefully they don't have charcoal in there anywhere already. We got a lot of aliases in this file. No, I don't. Equals ore dust charcoal. And that. Now, don't forget my semicolon, because if you forget the semicolon, it messes up the whole file. Yeah, we're good there. So back down to the decomposer recipe. And we'll go... I don't have to put brackets around it, because I'm going to say charcoal. Breaks down 100% of the time, which is the percentage chance there, so it's a full... you're going to get it no matter what. And what you're going to get is bracket. We're going to get carbon. Don't have carbon on here? Oh wait, maybe C? C. Element or C. Yeah, there it goes, carbon C. You just got to put a C. Been a little while since I worked with this particular file. Where to go? Synthesizer, decomposer. We're gonna get C times 8. And that's exactly what you would get for the charcoal if you just put it straight into the synthesizer. Oops, bracket. And then we're going to close that out. Don't forget your semicolon. Syntax is very important. So there we go. Now we should have... I'll go ahead and save that file. And if I come back over here, I can test this real quick. I can just see if it made it in there. I can go empty reload. Scripts reloaded. Didn't get an error. That's a good sign. Now if I go right here and go usages, there we go. Charcoal now breaks down into a carbon. There's some more that I probably need to do before I actually get the things done. If you guys can think of anything that doesn't currently break down or you think should have a recipe, let me know. I will put it in, because unless I run across it while I'm playing the pack myself, it's unlikely that I will think about it. One of those other things that I do need to think about, though, is the Ender IO stuff. The Ender IO mob drops. Actually, Ender Zoo. This stuff right here. Withering Dust, Confusing Powder, and Ender Fragments. It's not that I want these to be craftable, but I would like them to break down into something, so when you get them as a mob drop, you will be excited because it's going to give you something cool. Like Withering Dust. I have no idea what that would have, but it would probably have some kind of poisonous compound in it. Confusing Powder would maybe have some mescaline in it, and then you'd be able to use that to make a cactus instead of having to craft mescaline from the base materials. And then the Ender Fragment is basically just a piece of an Ender Pearl, so that would maybe have a slight chance of giving you calcium carbonate or Einsteinium. Very small chance, because it's only a fragment. You get enough of them, you can actually craft it into an Ender Pearl. It's 5. So if we look at the usages of an Ender Pearl and go back to where it breaks down, you get a 100% chance of getting an Einsteinium and a calcium carbonate. So what I would do is I would just give it a 20% chance of giving you Einsteinium and 1 calcium carbonate. It's probably the recipe I'll use. What was else I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna do a quest. So we'll do a quest and we'll wrap this up, because again, even with this behind the scenes stuff, I'm still going long. But I need to go into. I need a pick. I need a good pick, because I need to get a couple things. Let me get that guy right there. Good dark steel pick that's all fully charged and fully pimped out dark steel picks. I got to go into do a fill all time set. I should just lock the time, but this is actually a world that I'm using to explore around. I lock the time in my actual crafting world. And I think I will give you a preview of that real quick. I need to go in game mode 0. Do another kill all. Oh, come on. I just killed you. There. No, I don't want the chest. I want the... Mary. Really? Come here. I want the spawner. Of course, there we go. Which I needed for a... because the only way I can get that particular broken spawner with that exact right metadata is to kill these guys. Come on. Or kill one of those spawners. And then I'll probably... I don't know about the metadata on the... Well, let's approach one of these guys over here. I do think they look better now that I changed the way the cloud looks. But I wish they would actually be dangerous. They need to be dangerous. There's that. Maybe I need to be up in the air more. I don't know. Hopefully. Oops. Get rid of stuff. Did I pick up that? Yes, I did. Gas spawner. Yeah, see, this has NBT data, and I need the specific NBT data to do these next quests. So let's back in creative, just so I don't get whacked. And I need my quest book. Let's do one quest, and then I want to show you one more thing, and we'll wrap this up real quick. So show you what the quest. So first of all, in order to even do quests, you have to go into the edit mode configuration file and turn on use editor true. I don't think I've ever released a version that I accidentally left that on. But, it is a possibility. So I have to remember to turn this to false before I update the pack, so that when you guys get it, you don't get this editor mode thing. So let's look at yeah, it's in the. I want to put the first quest in Explore. So let's put our first quest in here. We're going to create a quest. Bam! There's my quest. Let's give it an item. What would represent the pigmen best? That's a good question. What would represent pigmen? Do I have pigment heads? I don't think so. Pigmen heads? No. Not pig. Pig zombie. Is that what it's called? Zombie pigman. Oh, pigman. Yeah. The only thing is that spawn egg. Oh. Well, I'm going to use that for now. So we come in here, and I'm going to go change item and click that, and it's going to let me set the item. And I can either pick it here, or I can search over here. I could have done that here. Pigman. It's over here. I already have it in my inventory, so we'll do that. Okay, that's the symbol I want for now. For now, I think I might change it later. Now I go back and select that, go into it. I need to name it. Hostile. Yeah, we'll do. And then what I usually do, since I'm incredibly bad at spelling, I come over here and I'll just open a new text file and paste stuff over here and do spell checks. Did I actually spell that right? Hostile. I guess I did. And I go, okay. If I don't get any improper things here, so what I want to do is I want to tell this. We'll just write it over here since we gotta write it. Again, I hope this shows up because I think my font might be kind of small. These cyborgs seem to have rooted themselves in good throughout land. If your settlements are to be successful, you will need to remove them. They also seem to have a good deal of resources if you're equipped to handle them. Alright, so got some spelling errors, of course. Equipped, settlement, oh, no, settle. Oh, it's TT. Settlement. Settlement, there we go. Your settlements are to be successful, you will need to remove them. They also seem to have a good deal of resources if you're equipped to handle them. Do not underestimate S. Mate. There. R. Velocity. After. All they are. Sending there to EIR. Come on, type their home. That's good enough. Estimate. There we go. Ferocity. Yep. FER. Inferiority. Os. Ferocity? Is that closer? There we go. Close enough that the spelling gets it. Sometimes I'm just so far off, the spelling correction stuff can't even figure out what I'm trying to say. So now I just highlight all that, copy it, come over here, click clear paste. There we go, it's in the book. Click OK, now it's done. So I need to set a task now. So we want to create a task. Task is going to be a turn-in. Consume task? Yeah, that's what it is. Consume task. That's the only one I'm going to put. I'm just going to be one consume task. I could put multiple tasks here if I want to. I'm going to change. Actually, we need to select that. Now we need to change the item. And this is going to be Zombie Pigman, Broken Spawner, Precise Detection. Okay. Now hopefully that's going to work. We'll find out later. The reward. Well, that's a good question. What is the good reward for this? I would say... I mean, you get really good rewards out of the thing. You know what I think would be a good reward? Lapis. Yeah, you get a block of lapis. Why not? Or maybe I should give lapis ore. This is one of the things that it's kind of a pain in the butt to craft. I don't know. We'll go with that for now. You guys can give me suggestions. Because none of this stuff is set in stone. I'll probably look back over it and decide and make changes before. What is that? Raw tilapia. Yummy. Well, not raw, but it's good when it's cooked. If you want to eat raw fish, it's got to be salmon or something like that. And I'm getting way off. Yeah, we'll go with a block of lapis. And then we're going to give an option to pick something. Sell. I always put this in there. Just because that's a placeholder. Eventually, I'm going to put a quest reward bag system in. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't figured out how I want it to be balanced. So, what else? Some dark steel, maybe? Dark steel. Not a block. But maybe, how about 4 ingots or so? Nah, I mean, well, yeah, these things are really not that hard to get, so I don't want to overdo it. In fact, I want to change that to require 4 spawners, because you're going to get a lot of them. Actually, we'll go 3 spawners. You're going to get a lot of them if you raid any of these villages. And that's pretty close. We're going to do reputation. Yeah, we'll do some reputation. How's this work? Forget. There we go. Edit reputation reward. There it is. Create new. That's the one. Reputation 1. Okay, that's all I do for those. Basically, anytime you complete a quest. Oh wait, do I want a reputation for these? This is going to be repeatable. Actually, I don't want this. All the repeatable ones I don't put reputation in. So Get rid of that. There we go. Wait, no. Delete. There we go. Okay. Get rid of that. So this is going to be a repeatable quest. So I don't want that. What else might I give out? Oh, I know. Actually, let's change item. We could give some vibrant ore. Some vibrant ore. Or possibly an emerald. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to come back and probably change these rewards later. Yeah, that's good. It's just to show you guys. Now, if I want to, I can change the text over here. I don't really need to because the majority of what I want to say is already being said over here. And I can change this task name too if I edit the edit the text here. But there we go. That's changed. That's an actual quest now. So there's at least one quest in the Explorer thing. Now I don't have any pre-requirements for that. So that one will be open right at the beginning for you to, for right now, and I don't know if that's going to change or not. But right now this is open right from the start. So you can immediately go to that. You wouldn't have a way to break the spawner, obviously, until you actually got a little bit of a base established and made yourself pickaxe. And then over here you can see that I got all these different changes that I've made. I'm going to go ahead and save all. Everything's saved. So I don't lose any of my work if something bad happens. I'm going to be really mad if my recording software didn't work. But we'll see. Okay, so that's pretty much that for making a quest. It's kind of a walkthrough. And there's other quests that are going to go in that Explorer thing. In the Explore tab. There's going to be quests to get the spawners. There's zombie pigment spawners, there's gas spawners, and there's blaze spawners. And I might make some quests for some other spawners that you actually find underground, like the skeleton and other stuff. I have to go actually find them. But the other thing that's going to happen is, well, actually, I think probably the one for the blaze will probably require that you find the ludicrate block in a blaze hive. And there'll be a couple ones that are location based or special item based. Like there's some items that you can't craft, particularly like especially some of the flans mod stuff. Like I'll find an item in here that's not isn't useful for anything and can't be used for anything, and then set that as a turn in, and then you'll have to find that in a dungeon and turn it in to complete that particular quest. And then there's another dungeon that spawns at a specific location every time. And I'll show you that here in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to quit out of this world. I'm done with that part for now. We're going to go into, see, I've got test tube, I've got a new world. That's my actual series right there, post Finem spoiler. We're going to get back to that next episode. I don't even know if I'm going to call this an episode or not, but it's a behind the scenes video. Buildings for RC, no. Buildings for RC was the original file that Breen sent me, but I corrupted that world and it doesn't work anymore. But this one is one I actually took all that stuff to, and was actually working on the missile dungeon. So I'll show you what goes into a little bit of that. What the heck? Where am I? Oh, I'm in the missile. Yeah. In the missile. Is there an exit up here? I don't wanna. There we go. I don't know what changes I made down in there, but okay. So over here, this is the actual dungeon part, and you can see it's got like natural air up there. On all the different, so this basically the stuff that makes it fit into the train. This stuff right here, solid natural floor, basically makes it fit into the terrain by generating whatever the biome's natural floor would be, which pretty much is obsidian everywhere. And then this part over here is the permanent part of the structure underground. That, and then all of this area right here, all this area here, this big open area here, is where the actual maze parts of it generate. And for the maze part, for the actual dungeon parts, I've actually got these rooms pre-made. So all these rooms over here that you see that are kind of sitting off by themselves, these are individual parts that the algorithm puts together in order to generate the whole dungeon. So some of these have mob spawners under them and stuff. Some of these rooms are bigger than one cell. So each of the rooms in the dungeon, or each of the sections, rooms, whatever, I don't know how you would say it, is 7 by 7. So, I forget, these are actual rooms. Down here is the hallways. So this is a section of hallway right here. And it can be rotated and stuff. So this is a T section of hallway. This is a corner section of hallway. This is a 4-way intersection. This is a straight hallway, right through. This is a 4-way intersection with stairs going up, which is how you get from one level to the other. And right above it is the 4-way intersection with stairs going down. And that's how you get. That's how the algorithm connects the levels, is by having these, and it puts them together. So then there's a couple of rooms that are actually bigger than the standard size. So you can actually define a room that's actually bigger than a single cell. So this room actually is a 2 by 2, and it's 1 high. This is the kitchen. A very nice kitchen, I think. It's actually kind of like the restaurant of the thing. It's got restrooms. Go in. And I don't know how well the doors are going to work. They might pop off. If they do, it's not a big deal. They're kind of made out of wood. They'd be broken down anyway over years, right? There's one other room. Oh, this is my favorite one. Favorite room right here. If you find this, you're going to be really happy. And it may not always generate. That's the thing about this one, is it may not always generate in the dungeon. So it's random. So some of these dungeons might actually have one of these mechanism reactors in it. It doesn't work because it's not everything is there. You need a lot of logistics to support it that aren't there. But if you find that, you got the core of the reactor ready to go. And of course, whatever's in this is always there. This is always going to be in every dungeon. This missile silo. But yeah, guys, I think, yeah, and I really like the way this came out. Approaching one of these will fire at you. These will shoot at you. The funny part is that when I'm playing the pack, they won't shoot at me because they're my turrets. So I'm not sure how to deal with that when I get to that point, because it's not really a good way for me to change the. I suppose I go in and change the NBT data. You can see these are all loaded. They have a very good ammo supply, very good power supply, and this thing is a laser fence. If you try to walk through this, it will kill you. It will kill you if you touch it. It'll kill you. And then this is major spoilers here. So, and then this is another really awesome thing that I think I did. Check these guys out. These carpenter pressure plates. You can barely see them. Boof! You got landmines all over the place. I've got my sound completely turned off, don't I? Oh, maybe I'll put some music in the background of this after when I edit it. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes video. I haven't put out a post Finem video in a while, and I feel like I owe you guys some kind of post Finem video. So I decided to do this instead of doing a regular play because I'm a little bit disappointed in my village thing. I actually did figure out what the problem was. It was just the fact that I had a whole bunch of of carpenter blocks all over the place, and I needed to remove them before I can put my village down. But we'll get back to. I'll get a couple more out here soon of the actual playthrough, spoiler series. But I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look at some of the things I do to get the pack working and such. So, if you did like it, be sure to leave a like, comment, thumbs up. Give me all your suggestions for the upcoming patch. If I forgot something, if you notice something that's major, make sure you get it to me soon, because I'm gonna try to get this out within. I'm gonna try to get this together within the next few days. Now, there's a big major process that I got to go through before I can even think about updating this, and that is to actually go through and update all the individual mods to the latest version. And to do that, I've got to get the latest version of the mod, put it into the pack, load the pack, make sure it doesn't cause any crashes or any issues, and then go through the quest book, make sure that it hasn't changed any item IDs or messed up any quests. And then I got to repeat that process for each mod that has an update. And I know that one of the big ones is Chisel, because the current version, the auto chisel thing is not working in the current version, so that's a big one. It's definitely got to get updated. That's not too big of a deal. I'm pretty sure that that one's not going to cause me too many problems. But forestry might be a little bit of an issue. I'm definitely going to have to go to a newer version of the Forge. So again, be sure to smash that like button, smash it, crunch it. Don't blame me if you have to buy a new keyboard. And leave me comments, guys. I need feedback to make the pack better, and to well, that's mainly it. Give me some feedback. Help me make the pack better. If you're interested. And until next time, I will catch you later.